Hello.
We want to file a claim to get my friend's weight loss drugs paid for.
Let me just speak with our medical director first. Sorry, but we don't pay for medicines for obesity because it's not a disease.
Who was that?
That was the medical director.
But you didn't say who the patient was or what was wrong with him.
Right. The medical director's job is just to say no.
If it means that we have to answer violence with violence.
Because of how these insurance companies treat people when they are at their most vulnerable, after we've all given them our money every fucking month, and now we finally need you, and all you do is deny us.
Where is my mind? Where is my mind?
What kind of American are you?
Welcome back to the Panic Room. I shouldn't say welcome back. You've entered the Panic Room, and the only escape is critical thinking. How do you achieve critical thinking, you say? There's three things that you have to embrace. Number one, nuance. Number two, curiosity. And number three, transparency. You have to be transparent with the truth to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. You can't, and you have to embrace the nuance of things. It's not black and white. And to even have any of that, you must have some curiosity. Today's topic: how the CEO of UnitedHealthcare got murked. Absolutely fatally murked. And I want to kind of pop out a little. You're asking me, why would I randomly just put a picture of the Lisan Al Gaib, Timothée Chalamet, up as a graphic on the screen? Well, turns out, bro was handsome. Look at that jawline. I'm not trying to glaze, sorry, no homo, but look at that jawline. Look at that smile. You're telling me that's a different person? You're telling me that jaw isn't full of spice? Huh? You're telling me my man isn't out here taking over Arrakis? Italian Lisan Al Gaib? It even sounds Italian. Alright, I digress. Just in case you live under a rock or in a home and just don't give a fuck about what's going on, I have compiled all the information needed and turned it into a small paragraph. It's a tiny paragraph because that's our attention span. We need everything in TikToks and shorts. Let me just clip my... So what happened? Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, was shot and killed on December 4, 2024 outside the New York Hilton Midtown Hotel. The attack occurred as he walked to an investor meeting. Investor meeting, what you're going to invest on people's pain and soul and diabetes. The silent, identified as Luigi Mangione, used a 3D printed pistol with the silencer and fled the scene on an e-bike. What a 2024 way to go. Mangione, motivated by grievances against the corporate greed, was later arrested in Pennsylvania. Authorities consider the act premeditated and are investigating further. Obviously, everybody kind of in the spectrum of kind of supporting him rather than condemning the violence. And you had weird stuff like Matt Walsh and all the right-wingers coming up with different narratives. Like Matt Walsh literally said that people are celebrating it because the gentleman who was murked, the CEO, was a white male. As if he doesn't know that 88% of all CEOs in America are white male, Matt. Come on, Matt. Then you got people like Ben Shapiro. Feelings don't matter. Facts over feelings. Shut the fuck up, dude. Pushing right-wing. Nah, dude. Healthcare impacts all. Healthcare impacts all. And in a beautiful way, this is America finally embracing nuance, where something terrible happened, yet from out of it came good. For example, there has been a heavy shift in conversations about healthcare, and we've always complained about it, but this in a way sparked more and more bigger conversations. So people are actually in tune with how the healthcare has been just absolutely wrecking middle class. People go bankrupt because of healthcare. To take care of yourself, you have to basically give yourself to the system. It's terrible. The conversation that I wanted to have, right? It's going to be a little darker. It's going to be a little darker, and everybody has to give the disclaimer that I don't condone violence. But what's violence? Violence doesn't have to be as shallow as hurting someone with a baseball bat or smirking somebody. Violence could be all sorts. If we can acknowledge cyberbullying, how is the corporate greed? How is corporate greed falling into healthcare that impacts American lives, not violence? A great example is how people would condemn, somebody steals a gaming console, a PS5 from Walmart, and we're like, lock him up, put him in jail right away. But then, long as you're a white collar, rich person doing tax evasion, people look the other way in terms of judging that person in the same category. I guarantee that if you take every single riot looting that happened during the George Floyd protests, you take every single item that was stolen and looted during that time and you add it up, I can easily find you thousands of cases of tax fraud. You'd find so much more money going on to tax evasion by the rich and fake donation than you would all the looting. Yet, there is no nuance to that. We look at the looters like they need to be shot in the legs, quote unquote, by Trump, or the stealing, the tax fraud that they commit, tax evasion, because they wear a nice suit and tie is less so. I feel like I want to use it as an example for violence. And when I first heard it, I won't lie, my true feelings were just like everybody else. I wanted to dig a little deeper into the dark soul, pun intended, and also double pun because I don't believe in souls, into myself. I'm sorry I have to do this. We're going to have to talk about it. What's real violence? Is he a hero? There's a huge portion of America that thinks he's a hero. And the other side condemning that, right? Because violence is violence. But how are you not condemning what the UnitedHealthcare and other healthcare companies are doing to the middle class? How are you not condemning in the same validity the violence that comes from the UnitedHealthcare? People are literally dying. People are avoiding having surgeries because it will make them bankrupt. Because that's the great again America that you were fighting for. Help me understand. We are sending money to Israel for their healthcare. We're funding 3 separate wars, but we can't have simple healthcare for our people. You think that people are going to keep dealing with this nonsense and it's not going to get worse? Some of the deepest, darkest thought that I had was in the last 2 decades, the stats of mass shooting had gone up tremendously over the last 2 decades, and innocent people are paying for it. Children are paying for it. So lonely men are out there and they are getting to a point where they can't take it. Instead of you hurting innocent people, instead of going out like a coward and a weirdo, there are other means. Real quick, get closer, get closer. You think you're safe, huh, with all your millions of dollars and your mansions and yachts, denying people health care. America has a boiling point. And if it means that we have to answer violence with violence, this is just a start. Oh my God, who was that? Don't put me on the list. I had nothing to do with it, okay? It's a dark conversation, but it's really important that we don't let this kind of fade off and become desensitized to it. The rich has molded the country to be desensitized to all this. It is just sad. I hope they go easy on him, but murder is murder. And I hope that America learns from this, and we should not let the elites give us nothing while making billions. What can we gain from having corporate greed like that, where they're making a high profit? It's not like they're They're denying people because they made like less and less each year and they're like going bankrupt as a company. They're having record sales, bonuses for their CEOs and VPs, while Americans are being denied simple healthcare. What did we expect? And I hope that this is in the end. I hope that we stop sleeping while the elite just sucks off of us. Yeah, sometimes we must fight fire with fire. Thanks for watching.